Hello again, and thanks for being here with us today. It has been a great session panel so far. We have for now Preston Meeks, founder of FormulaEqui.com, who is professional business builder, strategist closer, and coach for impactful high net worth individuals. Preston's mission is to make the world work for 100% of humanity. He's going to talk about the power of you, right? Peter? Preston?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect. Please go ahead, and the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today. I'm excited to talk to everyone about it. I want to give you a little bit of some tools and tricks on how to change how the world perceives you today. And I'm going to talk more in depth about that. But I want to give you a little bit of information about myself. I started with my business, in my business career, trying to solve a problem. I was trying to go to college. I was trying to actually figure out how to pay for school. And so I've always been a car nut my entire life. I've loved cars since I was 2 years old. I could name every car on the road. But I decided to buy and sell cars. And I started with one $1,600 car. And I bought that car at auction. I got 10 minutes out of the auction and it overheated and I chalked it up to a learning curve. And I didn't even have enough money to tow the car back to my house, or else I would have lost all my profit margins in the car. And so I spent like 5 hours and I got the car home, but I ended up reinvesting in myself. And I ended up building that as it evolved. I kept doing that and doing that and doing what I loved. And I built that into owning and co-owning 15 different car dealerships and multiple verticals, a finance company, paint shop, mechanic shop. And I built that into a $50 million a year company from one idea. But I used to run a renewable energy company and I was recruited by a guy went out of my car business by a guy named Mark Victor Hansen. Mark Victor Hansen's the #1 selling author, nonfiction author in the world. He created series like Chicken Soup for the Soul books and things like that. But I was pulled into the energy company and I learned a lot about energy. And so, but I want to tell you why I'm talking about energy and why that's relevant today. So what I learned from running the renewable energy company and the different experiences that I've had in my life is that we actually as people are independent generators of energy. So we literally create energy. So we eat food and our body processes it, and we take drinks and our body processes it, and we go through that and we literally create energy, and we're like a factory for that. There is scientific proof that this is true. I'm friends with one of the top neurologists from the Mayo Clinic here in Arizona. He's one of the top brain doctors in the world. And he taught me different ways to measure the brain. They have machines called an EEG where they put little electronic probes on your head. It's called an electroencephalogram, big scientific word. And they can measure different activities that are happening in your brain. And then there's also something called an MEG, a electroencephalogram that actually measures the activity of the energy that's sent out from your brain. So it's like a helmet that kind of goes around your head and it has a bunch of different magnets inside of it, but it picks up on the energy that's created. And that energy that's sent out is transmitted by our thoughts. And so why I tell you all this is our energy that we create as people is actually transmitted out there into the world. And it's true and it's measurable and there's actually science around it. But I want to give you an example of how that shows up in the world. So everyone's been in a place where you're in an event or you're doing something, there's like 50 or 100 people in the room, but you see that one person that walks into the room and they light up the room. They've got that energy, that inspiration. Everyone sees them, everyone notices them, and they're attracted to them, and they make a difference before. So with everything that's happening around them, and they have that energy. So why am I talking to you about this today? Well, when I've ran my businesses in the past, I've done a lot of hiring before. And I want you to understand what it looks like to see things from an interviewer's eyes and their perspective. You go back to someone that's looking at, taking on people, taking on jobs. They're reviewing, maybe thousands of similar applications. They're trying to differentiate, what's happening, who's good, who's bad, who's different, who they want to work with, who's going to be the best person. And then they go and they conduct interviews. They conduct interviews with many, many people, and they have to be the judge. They have to be the decision maker in that role. And so as a person that's trying to get a job, as a person that's trying to expand, as a person that's trying to do something in your life, we send out this energy and it's received by the person. And so I want to bring this to your awareness and teach you some tools so that you can create a better, more positive energy in all the things that you do. Whether it's applying for a job, whether it's working, whether it's doing any piece of anything that you're doing in your life. You may have experienced this energy through today, through hearing incredible presenters and things like that. And you have those people in your mind, right? Those people that you heard that you go, wow, I really like that person. I really connected with that person. And it's because of something that was a little different. What did you notice about them? And what was that energy, that draw that created that memory that you have in your mind of that person? The energy that you create is so important to what you do. And so I want you to be that energy. I want you to be the creator of that energy. And I want you to discover what I said my topic of today is the power of you. And literally, it's like power. It's like energy. It's like a put out thing in the world. And it goes way, way deeper than that. But I'm going to teach you a tool right now that you can use. So before you go into your next meeting, before you go into your next interview, before you go into anything else you do, you can use this tool and it can change your life. It can literally change it. So what I want you to do before you do that is to take some time, and in between the transition. So if you're going to go up and talk to someone, if you're going to go into an interview, if you're going to go into work the next day, I even do it on other situations. Take 2 minutes and create your intention. And what I mean by that is take the 2 minutes and slow down and think about what you're doing. Think about how that person, what you're going into and what you're going to create. And I want you to actually say those things in your mind. So when you're about to do it, I do this like when I'm going into a meeting or when I'm going into something, I'll pull my car into the parking spot. I'll put it in park. I'll turn the car off and I close my eyes and I think, okay, I'm going into this meeting. Who do I need to show up as? I need to show up as someone that's a leader. I need to show up as someone that's listened to. I need to show up as someone that's heard. I need to show up as someone that's a solution creator. I need to show up as all these different things that we can actually manifest and push out into the world and create. And not only do I want you to say the words out loud, or if you're in a situation where you can't say them out loud, you can just say them inside your head and repeat it. But here's the most important part. I want you to actually imagine yourself as that person. Imagine yourself as that person that's creating that energy. So when you say, I am a person that makes a change in a business. I am a valuable person in an organization. I am a person that is whatever it is that you're trying to do. I want you to actually visually imagine yourself standing there, being that person, feel the feelings of what it feels like to actually show up as that person, put yourself in that place, walking through the doors, talking to people, and doing it in the way you do it. Because this is a super, super powerful tool. And I promise you, if you try this, it will be a differentiator in everything you do and everything you show up as. Because it's so important to create yourself as the most amazing person possible and envision it and put yourself into it. And so why does this work? Why does this actually work? Well, we have our conscious mind and we have our subconscious mind. Our conscious mind sees and it talks and it analyzes things and all the things that we go through in the day. And our subconscious mind is the listener. It's the ears. And our subconscious mind listens to what our conscious mind tells it. It's kind of like, I like to use this analogy of a ship. It's like you can imagine yourself as a ship, and you're a ship trying to go across the ocean, trying to get to your destination, whatever that goal is in your life. And your conscious mind is like the captain of the ship. He's at the top of the ship. He's looking out over the ocean. He's seeing what's happening. The captain's, taking orders, making decisions, and reacting to situations that are happening. The subconscious mind is like the crew. It's the crew inside the ship. It's the people that are making the engines run. It's the people that are actually turning the gears to, control the direction of the ship. It's the people that are running checks on the coordinates to make sure that you actually show up at the port in the right destination, and you end up in the right country instead of the wrong country, or off course, or in a storm. Right? It's the things that make everything happen. So our conscious mind tells the body what it needs to hear, and the subconscious mind is doing the work. But what's interesting is that the subconscious mind doesn't actually know the difference between what you tell it and reality. Because like I said, the subconscious mind listens, the conscious mind's out there seeing and doing those things. So I want to say that again, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference from what you tell it, because you are the only communicator to your subconscious mind, because it can't see, it can't talk, it can't do any of the things that I spoke about. And so this is why this little simple exercise can change your life. Because if you set that programming, if you set that intention for yourself, and you tell yourself that you're going to do it with your conscious mind, you visualize it with your conscious mind, you're going to be like that captain of the ship. And you're going to be teaching your crew what to do. You're going to be telling your crew the orders of how to carry out that mission, to get you safely to your destination, to arrive on shore without problems, to not veer off course along the way, because that crew is going to have the orders, and they're going to go and they're going to execute that. Your body is actually working to resolve those things all the time that you tell it. So anything negative that you put in there is it, not serving you. It's a negative space. Everything positive that you fill in there that you can use to support yourself will be the differentiator in how you show up in your life and how you do everything. And so, and you can actually use this tool. I'm a dad. I've got 3 kids, and I use this tool in every part of my life. When I quit work at the end of the day, I reprogram myself, and I say, okay, I'm going to show up as an amazing dad. I'm going to show up as someone who loves their family. I'm going to show up as someone who listens to their kids. I'm going to show up as an amazing husband. And you can use this tool in every single piece of what you do, who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, because I want you to succeed. I want the best. I want everything for you. And I believe in you. I know you can do it. I've developed an academy around this called formulaeq.com that does the training. We do live training every single week. So if you feel like you need more support in your life to accomplish these things, check it out, and we can help you with that. But EQ is the emotional intelligence. We all know the intellectual intelligence, but the emotional intelligence, I just read a study the other day that involved 65,823 people in it. And that study proved that the number one determining factor when you compare cognitive intelligence versus emotional intelligence, 89.1% of success is determined by your emotional intelligence. That's a platform, that's a foundation for everything that you can do successful in your life to get you to the next level. And so right now, I can talk about more things, but I would love to do some Q&A and take any questions that anyone has. And if I can get some help with that from the moderator to, if there's any questions out there, I'd love to answer any questions that people have.
Okay. Thank you, Preston. Thank you very much for your presentation. Okay, now we are going to ask some question. We have one question here. So, what do you do to raise your energy when you are at a low?
Well, part of that is identifying what got you in that low. And we are the creators of every single thing that we believe in our life. When we blame something else in your life, say like, oh, this situation's making me depressed. This situation's got me down. This thing's got me sad. You're actually giving away your power. And so what's important and what's true is no one can change you. No one can actually change if you're happy or you're sad. It's actually your choice, but it's okay. I don't want anyone to feel bad about it. I don't want anyone to, have any sort of things that put up a stop for that. We're perfect the way we are. But what we need to do is recognize it. The first step is recognizing it, recognizing what's creating that in your life. And then once you recognize that, you can recognize where your loss of power is. And if you're putting it on someone else, take back that responsibility into your life. Take back control of it into your life and build that power, build that strength in you. That's why I call this the power of you, because we really are in control of all this. And if we can take that and recognize it and go, okay, I have this situation that's occurring in my life, but when I have that situation, I am not going to be sad. I'm going to remove that situation, and I'm going to choose happiness. I'm going to choose love. I'm going to choose success. I'm going to choose gratitude. I'm going to recognize myself for all the amazing things that I can do. I'm going to realize that everything's okay. I'm just sitting in my office right now. No one's attacking me. No one's hurting me. And actually life's pretty good. And so, yeah, if we have
Thank you.
any other questions.
Yes, we have. Actually, we have two another questions. So the first one is, what is the actual definitions of power in terms of career?
Okay, so actual definition of power, power is anything that you can control. And so, having that power in your life is really deciding everything in your life and owning it. There's a guy named Jocko Willing that has an awesome book called Extreme Ownership. And I love that title, because it's really taking the power back, is not placing your blame on other people, not placing your problems on other people, because if you place your problems on other people, you don't have control of any of it. They do. So they're in control of you. So how you gain control back is by owning everything in your life, taking that responsibility back in your life. Then you have the power to do it. Then you have the power to go be whoever you want to be, to get the job you want, to change your career, to do anything, literally anything in the world. So
Perfect. Nice. Thank you. The last question is, you talk about the emotion intelligence. And we all know that emotional intelligence is one of the most characters for the leadership for a management team. So can you please tell me how, because someone in her character they have the emotional intelligence, but how they employ the emotional intelligence in the professional life? That's
yeah,
my
so
question.
yeah, the emotional intelligence. There's no difference between your home life and your professional life. They're the same life. And so if you have problems at home, if you have things that are happening anywhere in your world, if you have the strength of the emotional intelligence, it will lift you anywhere. We only can operate from 100%. So we have 100%. So if 10% of you sad, if 10% of you is frustrated, if 10% of you is depressed, then you're only operating at 70% everywhere that you show up, from your work to your relationships to your friend to your home to every single thing that you do. And so, how you build that strength and that emotional intelligence it's like an exercise, and it's like a work, and you get stronger and stronger by using the tools that I teach at formulaeq.com. So I'm happy to help.
People.com. Perfect. Thank you. The last question, and we are going to finish that. Are there some resources we should consult about emotion intelligence? I'm very curious about this impact in the workplace.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's tons of things out there. I mean, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I'm Preston Weeks, the energy guy. I've got a YouTube channel at Formula EQ, and then come check out formulaeq.com. Me and my partner's based in London, and we're putting out content every day to support humanity, to support people, to make a difference in people's lives, because I believe in this. It matters. And I believe that you are more powerful than you realize you are today. And I know that. I've seen the change. Emotional intelligence can be learned. It can be learned today, tomorrow, and next day. We provide new lessons every single week for people that are live coaching to help change people's lives and to teach this and to make a difference.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you for your presentation. And see you next time, guys. Thank you for all of you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.